Chapter 7. Salugenesis Signaling. Unlocking the body's innate healing power. Introduction to Salugenesis. For millennia, healers have known that the body is not simply a passive victim of disease, but an active participant in its own recovery. In the ancient healing traditions of Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, and indigenous practices, the focus was not merely on eliminating illness but on restoring balance, health, and vitality. This concept, focusing on the origin and promotion of health rather than the origin of disease, has found a modern scientific counterpart in the term salugenesis, coined by Dr. Robert K. Navio in 2019. Derived from the Latin salus, health, and genesis, creation, salugenesis describes the biological and cellular processes that guide the body back to a state of homeostasis after stress, illness, or trauma. It represents the body's inherent capacity for self-repair and regeneration, offering a paradigm shift in how we approach healing from trauma and chronic conditions. Salugenesis signals the biological and cellular processes that guide the body back to a state of homeostasis after stress, illness, or trauma. It represents the body's inherent capacity for self-repair and regeneration, offering a paradigm shift in how we approach healing from trauma and chronic conditions. Historical and philosophical foundations of healing. Before modern medicine's focus on treating symptoms and pathologies, ancient healers approached health holistically. They believed that the body, mind, and spirit were interconnected, and when balanced, these elements allowed the body to heal itself. This idea of an innate healing force, called vitalism in early Western medicine, persisted in various cultures. While modern science eventually moved away from the vitalistic framework, it has recently circled back, rediscovering that the body does indeed possess remarkable self-healing abilities guided by complex biological pathways. The modern concept of salugenesis builds on these ancient principles, but it also embraces cutting-edge science, linking the body's healing to cellular and molecular mechanisms. Biological mechanisms of healing. At the cellular level, salugenesis involves a series of complex processes aimed at repairing damage, restoring balance, and protecting the organism from further harm. Fundamental biological mechanisms include cellular repair and regeneration. Cells can repair themselves after injury. This process is driven by stem cells, which can differentiate into the specific cell types needed to regenerate damaged tissues. In trauma recovery, stem cell activation plays a critical role in repairing muscle, brain tissue, and other affected areas in the body. Inflammation resolution. While acute inflammation is a vital part of the body's response to injury, chronic inflammation can perpetuate the damage. Salugenesis involves resolving this inflammation once its purpose has been served. Specialized pro-resolving mediators, SPMs, discovered by researchers like Dr. Charles Serhan, help terminate inflammation and initiate the healing process. Mitochondrial function and energy. Mitochondria are central to energy production. Healthy mitochondria are necessary for generating the energy required for cellular repair and immune function. When mitochondrial dysfunction occurs, it can impair the body's ability to heal, making mitochondrial health crucial for trauma recovery. Immune modulation. The immune system is a double-edged sword. While it protects the body from infection and aids in tissue repair, it can also contribute to chronic stress if overactivated. Modulating the immune response, promoting healing without triggering chronic inflammation, is a critical part of salugenesis signaling. Salutogenesis, a public health perspective. In 1979, sociologist Aaron Antonovsky introduced the concept of salutogenesis, which focuses on the creation of health rather than the prevention of disease. Antonovsky studied people who remained healthy despite high levels of stress, proposing that factors such as a sense of coherence and the ability to find meaning in life were essential to promoting well-being. Though focused on psychological and social factors, salutogenesis shares an essential parallel with salugenesis. Both prioritize understanding what makes people resilient and healthy, rather than what makes them sick. In trauma recovery, this shift in focus, from merely treating symptoms to actively promoting healing, mirrors the role of salugenesis signaling at the cellular level. Supporting salugenesis through therapeutic interventions. Modern therapies now focus not just on treating trauma, but on actively supporting the body's healing mechanisms. As mentioned in the previous chapter, several therapeutic interventions have shown promise in activating salugenesis signaling. Nutrition and supplements. Anti-inflammatory diets, mitochondrial support, and nutritional therapies can enhance the body's capacity to heal. Omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and nutrients like CoQ10 all support mitochondrial health and reduce inflammation, creating the conditions for recovery. Photobiomodulation. This therapy uses red or near-infrared light to stimulate cellular repair. Photobiomodulation supports mitochondrial function and has been shown to promote healing in tissues affected by injury, inflammation, or trauma. Frequency. Specific microcurrent. FSM. FSM uses low-level electrical currents to stimulate tissue repair and reduce inflammation. This therapy has been particularly effective in trauma recovery by activating cellular repair processes and modulating the nervous system. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT. HBOT enhances oxygen delivery to tissues, promoting healing in cells that have been deprived of oxygen due to injury or trauma. This therapy is beneficial in cases where inflammation or injury has compromised circulation. Heat and cold shock proteins. Exposure to heat, such as in saunas, or cold, through cryotherapy, induces the production of heat shock proteins, HSPs, and cold shock proteins. These proteins help cells repair damage and protect against future stress, enhancing resilience and recovery. Trauma, the nervous system, and salugenesis. The vagus nerve and the autonomic nervous system play central roles in salugenesis. Trauma often traps the nervous system in a state of hypervigilance or shutdown, inhibiting the body's ability to heal. Central to the activation and resolution of the CDR is the autonomic nervous system, ANS, which regulates the body's involuntary functions, such as heart rate, digestion, and immune responses. The ANS has two main branches that play vital roles in modulating the CDR and the healing process. Sympathetic nervous system, SNS. Known as the fight or flight system, the SNS is activated during times of stress, triggering the CDR. When the body perceives a threat, the SNS ramps up, preparing the body to either confront or flee from danger. In this state, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline are released. Energy is diverted away from processes like digestion and cellular repair, and inflammation is triggered as a defense mechanism. Prolonged activation of the SNS can keep the body stuck in a defensive mode, preventing the transition to salugenesis. Parasympathetic nervous system, PNS. Often referred to as the rest and digest system, the PNS promotes relaxation, recovery, and healing. It plays a crucial role in facilitating salugenesis by calming the stress response and allowing the body to prioritize cellular repair, digestion, and energy restoration. This system is closely linked to the vagus nerve, which regulates the body's ability to switch into a healing mode. The activation of the PNS is essential for moving the body out of the CDR and into a state where it can heal. Vagus nerve and polyvagal theory. The vagus nerve, as explored in Dr. Stephen Porges's polyvagal theory, is integral to calming the nervous system and shifting it into a parasympathetic state. In this state, the body can focus on repair and restoration. Practices such as neuroacoustic sound therapy and heart rate variability, HRV, biofeedback are designed to support vagal tone and promote recovery. Forest bathing, Shinrin-yoku. Spending time in nature, also known as forest bathing, has been shown to reduce stress hormones and improve vagal tone, making it another powerful tool in activating the body's healing response. Balancing the nervous system for healing. For the body to transition from the CDR to a state of salugenesis, there must be a rebalancing of the autonomic nervous system, where the parasympathetic nervous system, PNS, can override the prolonged activation of the sympathetic nervous system, SNS. Several therapies can support this rebalancing and help shift the body from a state of defense to one of recovery. Vagus nerve stimulation. The vagus nerve is vital to the parasympathetic nervous system, calming the body and promoting healing. Techniques like deep breathing exercises, vagal nerve stimulation, and neuroacoustic sound therapy can help activate the vagus nerve and enhance parasympathetic activity. Heart rate variability, HRV. Training. HRV is a measure of the balance between the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems. Higher HRV indicates greater parasympathetic activation, which is associated with better stress resilience and healing capacity. HRV biofeedback techniques can help individuals train their nervous systems to activate the PNS more effectively, promoting the shift toward salugenesis. Mind-body practices. Practices such as yoga, meditation, and forest bathing, spending time in nature, see above, help reduce sympathetic nervous system activation and enhance parasympathetic tone, which supports the body's ability to move into a healing state. The sympathetic to parasympathetic shift, key to salugenesis. The shift from sympathetic dominance to parasympathetic activation is essential for resolving the CDR. Without this shift, the body remains stuck in a defensive state, unable to repair and heal fully. Salugenesis, therefore, is the physiological manifestation of the body moving out of fight or flight and into rest and repair. It's a process in which the nervous system calms, inflammation resolves, and cellular repair is prioritized, allowing the body to restore balance and function. Post-traumatic growth and salugenesis. Post-traumatic growth, PTG, is a profound example of the body and mind's ability to heal from trauma and grow stronger. Research suggests that this growth involves a process of rewiring in the brain through neuroplasticity and neurogenesis. Neuroplasticity allows for the formation of new neural connections, while neurogenesis supports the development of new neurons. These processes facilitate both cognitive and emotional transformation, enabling individuals to experience personal growth, enhanced mental resilience, and a renewed sense of purpose after trauma. Key takeaways. Salugenesis represents a shift in healing paradigms. Rather than focusing solely on treating disease or trauma, salugenesis encourages healing by promoting the body's inherent ability to recover and restore balance at a cellular level. This marks a shift from the pathology-centered model to a health-centered approach. Healing is a cellular process. Salugenesis involves cellular repair, inflammation resolution, and immune modulation. Critical biological processes like mitochondrial function and stem cell activation are central to the body's ability to regenerate tissues and overcome trauma. The nervous system plays a central role. The autonomic nervous system, particularly the parasympathetic branch, must be activated for the body to transition from defense, CDR, to healing, salugenesis. Techniques that enhance vagal tone and promote relaxation are key to recovery. Modern therapies can activate salugenesis, nutrition, photobiomodulation, frequency-specific microcurrent, FSM, and hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT, are powerful tools in stimulating the body's healing mechanisms. These therapies help resolve chronic inflammation, enhance mitochondrial function, and promote tissue repair. Resolution of the cell. Danger response, CDR, is essential for healing. Chronic activation of the CDR keeps the body in a defensive state, blocking healing. Moving out of this state requires balancing the autonomic nervous system, reducing inflammation, and supporting cellular repair through therapeutic interventions. The sympathetic to parasympathetic shift is crucial. Healing is not possible without the shift from sympathetic dominance, fight or flight, to parasympathetic activation, rest and repair. Therapies that promote this shift, such as HRV training and vagus nerve stimulation, are essential to trauma recovery. Next steps. Introduce the concept of salugenesis early in trauma recovery programs. Begin incorporating the principles of salugenesis into trauma recovery frameworks, ensuring clients understand the body's natural capacity for healing. Highlight that recovery isn't just about managing symptoms, but actively promoting the body's self-repair processes. Incorporate therapeutic interventions that promote salugenesis. Develop comprehensive therapeutic plans that integrate interventions proven to stimulate salugenesis, such as anti-inflammatory nutrition, photobiomodulation, frequency-specific microcurrent, FSM, and hyperbaric oxygen therapy, HBOT. Each of these approaches supports the body in moving out of the cell danger response, CDR, and into repair mode. Focus on balancing the autonomic nervous system, ANS. Emphasize therapies that shift the balance from sympathetic, fight-or-flight dominance to parasympathetic, rest and digest activation. This includes vagus nerve stimulation, HRV training, yoga, and time in nature, forest bathing. Educate on the role of the nervous system in healing. Offer resources and training to help people understand how the vagus nerve, parasympathetic nervous system, and polyvagal theory contribute to the body's healing process. Encourage practices that strengthen vagal tone and improve resilience to stress. Develop protocols for trauma recovery. Create trauma recovery protocols that aim for cellular repair and regeneration by addressing mitochondrial health, resolving chronic inflammation, and supporting immune function. Provide clients with personalized strategies that focus on transitioning from CDR to salugenesis. References: Antonovsky, A. 1979. Health, Stress, and Coping. New Perspectives on Mental and Physical Well-Being. San Francisco, Jossie Bass. Hamblin, M.R. 2016. Photobiomodulation or Low-Level Laser Therapy. Journal of Biophotonics. 9/11-12. https www.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov. PMC articles. PMC 5215795/. Hansen M.M. 2017. Shinrin-yoku, Forest Bathing, and Nature Therapy, a State-of-the-Art Review. International Journal of Environmental Research Public Health, 14.8.851. https www.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov. PMC articles. PMC 5580555/. Heart rate variability training. NDI-D. https www.heartmath.org. Resources. SA HeartMath Tools. Navio, R.K. 2014. Metabolic Features of the Cell Danger Response. https pubmed.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov 247599148/. Porges, S.W., N.D. Polyvagal Theory. https www.stephenporges.com.